Hi, I'm Sally and this is a tutorial for my little donkey charm. He's quite cute, he even has a tail. You will need a main body colour. I'm going to use grey today, but you could use brown or black or blue or whatever you wanted to use. You'll also need a colour to put in his ears. I'm using a pale pink sort of flesh colour. You need black and white for his eyes and for his hooves and tummy and sort of muzzle, is it called? Sort of snouty area. Anyway, so let's make a start. We're going to start by making his ears. So, taking a single grey band, you're going to make a figure of 8 across these 2 pins here. You can see it's quite a pale grey, I don't know how well it shows up. And then we're going down 5 times on each, sort of down the centre and then down the side where the figure of 8 is. So that's 4 and 5, so if you can see, I've gone along the centre 5 times. And then I'm going to go along here where the other pin is, where the 8's on. So, working your way down again. Like so. And then you need to place a cap band on each of these pins here. So taking a single band, you're wrapping it around 3 times. Sorry, out of habit, I'm lifting up my loom. So it should look like this. And now we're going to make the pink bit that goes in here. So you want to take double of your pink bands. Mine's a very, very pale pink. Like I say, it's a skin colour. It's quite nice with the grey though. And you will need to add in some doubled up bands. And which colour is entirely up to you. I'm going to use grey, but I'll show you the difference. So using grey along the side of the ear here, you can just see the pink just on this very top one because we can't change that. On my other ear, you can see the pink all the way down. And if you like that look, then do your double bands as pink. Otherwise, if you prefer this one, make them grey. So I'm going to use grey. So you're crossing over your band and doubling it back on your fingers, and you're placing it over this bottom pin here. We're going to do the same on these 2 pins as well. So you'll have 3 pins with these doubled over bands on, and these are going to attach to the ear. Okay, once you've done that, you need to loop up, and I'm just going to slide this out of the way. It's moving more and more the more I do, I'm sure. So pushing away this doubled over band, whatever colour you've chosen to do. You want to loop forward, just treat this as if it was a cap band, so just put it back, leave it on your pin and loop the bottom 2 bands. So same again, and loop forward, and same again, and loop forwards. So there we go, that's what you should have now. So now we're going to remove this from your loom, leave it on your hook, and we're going to add it on to the ear that we've just laid out. So this bottom band here is going to go across where the cap bands are, and the top band is going to go 3 pins above that, so the 2nd pin down on the side. So what you need to do, it's quite confusing, and I will show you each step of the way. You want to place all of the bands. Let me just make sure that's still attached. That were on your hook, you want to place across going across the side second pin and the centre third, so they're at an angle like this. And now we're going to stretch this out and place this big loop that's at the bottom across the bottom 2 pins above the cap bands, like this. And then these 2 little circles in there, you're going to pull out. This one is going to go across these 2 pins, and this one is going to go across these 2 pins. And these will act as horizontal bands as well as holding in the centre piece of the pink. That I do one side at a time, I find that easiest. And I can't find the other half. And I know it's in there somewhere. Oh, nearly. I have one. I'm going to put one across. No, one's pinged off. As you can see, it is quite tricky to do. And it can be quite frustrating, but I do this, and sometimes I can do it straight first time and have no issues, and other times I really struggle with it. And I'm just doing the last loop, and I'm sorry if you can't see what I'm doing, but I will show you when I've finished so you can see what it should look like. There we go. So you should have something that looks like this. So I'll go over it again, just in case you are having problems. So the 2 bands that initially were on your hook when you took it off your loom go across the side second and the centre third pins. The next little loop down goes in the next 2 pins down, and those bands will go straight across like sort of a sausage shape, circling them. And then the next circle goes around this one, and then the big loop that was at the bottom goes around the 2 top pins and above the cap bands. So it should look like this. And then I'm going to take a single grey band, stretch it out and double it, and we're placing it across the side first and centre second, just to hold that bit together. So that's this bit here. And now we're going to begin to loop. So going in through the cap band and the triangle band, the band from the pink extension piece, just loop up. And you're just going to push back all other bands except for the bottom 2 and loop up, and again, and loop, whoops, loop up, push back and loop up, and just keep going to the end like that. And now we're going to do the next row. So just the bottom 2 and pushing all the other ones out of the way. And then where you've got your figure of 8 band in these 2 pins, just pull it up from one pin and just place it around your finger, just hold on to it, go in this pin, bring it round, lift it up, and then place both ends, if you can see, like this, and then just place the first band that went on your hook over the second band on your hook and pull, and that will make a slip knot, and that will hold it tight like that. So once you have something that looks like this and it's all tied off, you can remove it from your loom and just make sure that this band is tight. Stretch it out, and that should help any of the sort of have a strange loopy band that's appeared as if from nowhere. So I'll tuck that in a moment. Not quite sure where that's come from, to be honest. Thought they were all looped properly, but anyway. So your ear should look like this, effectively, like this. You will obviously need 2 of these, because donkeys have 2 ears. So if you pause the video and make another one, and then when you come back, we can start on his body, and I'm just hiding this odd band that's appeared. Okay, so you should have your 2 ears made, and now we're going to start on his body. So placing double grey band, or whatever colour you're using for your donkey, just loosely over the end. I have also used grey, silver, which looks sort of okay if you'd rather do a sort of more metallic-y, sparkly donkey. So that's what it looks like in silver. But anyway, back to our design. So you're going diagonally from side to first side to centre first, and same the other way. So it's like this, and then we're going down 3 times with double grey bands on each row. So 1, 2, 3, and repeat in the centre and on the other side, and then I will show you. So 2, 3, and same on the last side. So you have 3 columns, if you like these rows here, have 3 lots of double grey bands, or whatever body colour you're using, on them. So it should look like this. And now we're going to do the sort of muzzle nose area. So take double white bands, like this, go down once on each side and twice in the middle. And then again, taking double white bands, we're going diagonally. If I show you with my hooks, my fingers are in the way. Diagonally from this pin to this pin, and then the same here. So 2 white bands together, and we're just going diagonally. And this will sort of make the sort of bottom of the face. So this is your donkey's face, sideways on. Now we're going to make his body. So with double grey bands, we're going to go down each side 4 times. So 1, 2, 3. Same the other side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you have 4 lots of grey, like this. So it's coming off of this pin here before you go diagonally down 4. Now taking double grey bands again from this point here, so you're just carrying on straight down. You want 1 set of double grey bands, and if you want your donkey to have a tummy, mine's white, then you'll now need to put 2 rows of double white bands. If you want your donkey to be all one colour, completely solid, then just carry on with your body colour, and then after you've done those 2 rows, you want to have another one of grey. So the centre, you have 1 row of grey, 2 of whatever tummy colour you want, if you want one, and then another grey, or brown, or black, or whatever colour you've chosen to do. And now, that was my elbow, and now we're going diagonally from the sides to the centre, just to close off this design on the body, and then we're going to place a cap band on this pin here. So single band wrapped around that pin 3 times, sorry. And now we're going to continue and add on the donkey's legs. Actually, we'll make the arms first, make things a little bit simpler. So for the arms, double grey bands, move to the end of your loom, you're going down twice. Double grey bands on both sides. And then you're going to cap them off on here and here with a single black band, and this will be like the hoof. So if you want to have a hoof, if you don't, if you want it to be more soft like a teddy bear donkey, then use the same with your body colour. But this is what it looks like anyway if you want to use different colour bands at the end. So going in through that cap band and you're just looping up as you normally would, pushing the cap band out the way and looping up. Same again, looping up. So you have your 2 arms, and these are going on the 6th pin down. So if you remove your arm, front leg, as we were making a donkey, so I suppose front leg, centre your cap band so that it hangs straight and it sits right. So it's like this. Count down your 6 pins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's going just here below the white part, so it's just on this pin here, but 6th pin down if you're not sure. Same on the other side, and they do look very small next to the size of the body for now. Once it's removed from the loom, it will look just right. And I've just lost a band, it's just come off with my hook. There we go. So we've got both arms on, and now we're going to make the legs. So basically same thing again, from this pin here, we're going down twice. So 1 and 2, and same the other side. 1, 2, adding a black cap band if you want a hoof, whatever colour you've decided, around this pin. So you have this, so they're capped off quite nicely there. And now we need to make the eyes. So taking 2 single black bands, 2 single white bands, and 1 of your body colour, you're wrapping one of the black bands around your hook 3 times, like so. Taking a white band, going on one side and twisting it, and then twisting it the other, so you have some white on each side. Doing the exact same thing again. Now this, as I've done these on other designs, and I've also said on those, this is not my design for an eye. I believe this is DIY Mummy's design. If she got it from somewhere, then I'm not aware that she has, but then credit to those people. But just to be clear, so I'm not taking credit for anybody else's design. This is not my design for an eye. The donkey is, just the eye isn't. So sliding all of these bands onto this grey band. And once you have them on your band, you want to find the front, and this is going to sound a bit strange when I tell you, but trust me on this one. You want to place the eyes so that the side that you want to be the back is facing upwards, and you're putting these across the 3rd pin down and straight across your donkey's face. and I should explain why in just a moment once we've got the eyes on. So separate the eyes, and where you've got the bands here, take your hook inside those two bands and just loop it over the top like this. And the reason for doing this is when you loop your donkey up, you will find that you're looping up his back and the eyes will push through to the other side. If you put them on the right way up now, they'll be back to front when you've finished. And now we're going to make his nostrils. So as you can see, let me show you the grey one rather than the silver. He's got little nostrils too. So, again, 2 single black bands and 1 body colour. And we are, same as we've just done with the eyes, looping it around our hook individually, obviously with no white, he'll look a bit strange. Single body coloured band, and you're just pulling over these bands like so. So you have your 2 nostrils, and these are going across the 4th pins across the face, and then we're doing the same as we did with the eyes, separating them and then moving the top half to the pin above in the centre, so in between, and loop it up, and these will act as our triangle bands. So this is his face. The last thing to do is to add on his ears. So taking both your ears, you will probably still have these sticking out, which can be tucked in once we've finished. And you want to find the band, you can see it quite clearly on here, that goes straight across. And this was the band that we put over the top of our cap bands. So just pull that down, replacing it on the top, the first pin on each side. Placing it over, oops, and you're just wrapping it around, sort of doubling it around that pin, and same the other side, so getting it the right way up. Or what I should just say, actually, is as with the eyes, you need to put these on upside down, so that it's all the right way round when we finish. So, one upside down ear, and then finding the other upside down ear, and pulling out that bottom band. There should just be 2 bands that you're pulling out, and we're wrapping it and doubling it around this first side pin, making him look a lot more donkey-like. So he looks like this. So now we just need to add on some triangle bands before we start to loop. So this is all single bands, so single grey band, and we're placing it across the 3 bands above the 3 pins above the cap band. Doing the same on the 3 pins above that. Same on the 3 pins above that. And then across the front legs, arms, whatever you prefer to call them. And then across this area, we're going to use a white band. Switching back to grey. Sorry, no, we're not switching back to grey. Here and here, you won't need a band because the nostril band and the eye band are acting as triangle bands in that part. And you'll just need to add 1 more right at the top of his head. So in total, you've placed on 6 more. So 8 with the eyes and the nostrils, all the way along. And once you're at this stage, you're ready to loop. So taking your hook, going in through the hoof, pushing that band back, and just hooping up the 2 leg bands, like this. Same on the one above, and then do the other leg. Don't just shoot off and go straight up, because you'll find that you've missed some out and you'll have problems. When you finish, you have to go back or start again. So just do the legs, but it's easy to get carried away, I know. and then going in through this cap band here, push this back, take the top 2 bands, oops, which are a bit tricky to see because they're all grey. There we go, and hooking them back round, and again hooking back and hooking like this. So they're hooking on to the pins where the bands originally came from, so they're sort of doubling back on themselves. And now we're going to go up this side, up to this pin here, which is sort of below his chin. So you can do all 3 rows up to that point. So just pushing back all of the bands, triangle bands, arm bands, all of the bands except for the bottom 2, and just looping all the way forwards. Until you get to your white nose, snouty part of your donkey. I can't really see what I'm doing now, so I'm guessing it's not going too badly. There we go, so nearly there. And the last grey band through the arm, and there. So we've looped up his body, and we've just got to do his head. So same as we did down here, we need to take the bands around this pin in 3 separate directions, although there's no cap band on this pin, so you've got a little bit more movement and it makes it a little bit easier. So just looping out, starting with the top 2, and the bands have got all crossed over, which makes it more difficult, and looping this way and then looping forwards like so. And now you can finish by looping up his head. So go ahead, so going inside the nostril band, inside the eye band, inside that triangle band, pushing it all out the way and looping up. And then you want to push back all the bands of the ear and just find the bottom 2, and I can't find there's the other one. So there's one half of his face all looped up. I'm going to do the centre on the other side now, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all finished, before we tie it off and take it off the loom. And I have to say, I do find this little donkey absolutely adorable. I think he's so cute. I think it might be the eyes, I'm not sure, but or slightly oversized ears. You can make the ear smaller, just do fewer bands in his ears, just go down fewer amount, but then adjust the middle bit accordingly. So when you have your little donkey all looped up, you're ready to tie him off. So taking these 2 bands that we put on, first of all, that are loose, place them around your finger, or however you want to do it, and you want to push back all the bands on this pin and pull up those 2 bands, place them so that both ends of the bands are on your hook, and then take the top 2 over the bottom 2 and pull into a slip knot. And once you've done this, you can remove him from your loom. So here we have our donkey. So I'm just going to find which way's forwards. So this way's forwards for me, the side that's face up. Now, just adjust his eyes, make sure the white bands are where you want them to be. Make sure his nostrils are through. Sort of make sure you hide these bands. You can just tuck them through on the back. So just take your hook through some of the bands and put it through. Like this. You don't need these bands sticking out. And there's our slightly wonky donkey. So just straighten out his legs, his arms, his head, give his body a tug, and he'll sort himself out. So as I said before, my donkey does have a tail. This is optional. If you want your donkey to have a tail, I'll show you how to make that now. If you don't, then you're done. If you do, then stay tuned. So to make his tail, take a single black band, stretch it out and double it over, and wrap it around your hook 2 or 3 times, depending on your bands. And then you want to take 7 of your body coloured bands, so 7. And you're just going to double these back on themselves, and you're just going to make a chain using your hook. You can do this on your loom, and I'll just flip this over and I'll explain how, if you find it easier. What you can do is double your bands over on your hands and then lay them out on your loom. Do a chain of 7 and then wrap your cap band round on the last pin. If you prefer to do it that way, then that's another way you can do it. I'm going to do hook and hand. And you want 7 links in this chain. Like so. So you just threading the cap band onto the doubled band and then just adding in a band and threading it through. So I don't know if I explained that, if I just went ahead and did it anyway. But that's basically what you're doing. So yeah, cap band on there, thread it onto a doubled body coloured band, and then keep adding in double coloured band and then threading it through and adding the ends on. So doubled over band, placing it on your hook, holding it on your finger, slide it on, and then pin it on your hook. And there's your donkey's tail. So to add it, you might find it easier to place this on a holding hook or using another hook. I'm going to use another hook. And then right at the bottom of your donkey, right by his bum. So you can either do it through these bands or these bands. I think I'm going to use these white bands because they look slightly better. So just pick 2 of the bands on your hook, then take your tail. Just going to get this on my fingers, put it on this hook here, like this, and then very carefully, holding your tail on, take the other 2 of your bands on the back of your donkey, so it's like this, and take a single body coloured band on the end of your hook and hold it on your finger, and then you're carefully going to slide all of these onto this band. So you might find it easier to do the 2 that are attached to the donkey and then lift the tail and slide that on, and then do the rest of the donkey. So the band is going straight through. Place the end that's around your finger back onto your hook and make a slip knot. Pull it tight. Excuse me. And then this band here, we're just going to wrap around the base of his tail. just to make it a little bit more secure. Sometimes the tails do get a little bit loose. Just slide it down as far as you can, and there we have our donkey. So I hope you've enjoyed making him. I know I have. Please like, subscribe, comment on this video. Let me know what you think of this design and of my tutorials. By subscribing, you'll be notified when I add new videos, which at the moment is quite often because I'm working quite hard at my looming. I am on Instagram at Sally's Looming. If you'd like to share your finished results with me and any colour combinations or anything you do with this design or any of my other designs, just tag me in your pictures. It'd be lovely to see them. I'm also on Facebook. If you search Sally's Looming, all one word, and you will find my group on there where we can discuss looming things, or you can share your pictures with me, and you can make requests for any designs that you'd like to see, the same as you can under this video if you wish to. So I hope you've enjoyed making him and you like him, and I'll see you next time. Bye.